Hey, I'm Blair Pippin. Welcome back to another episode of Abolitionists Live. It's been a little while, but we're happy to get back to you because we really want to share about an issue that relates to our victims that we serve. And a lot changes when they turn 18. So I'm here with Tomas Lars, our founder and CEO, once again. And so Tomas, I just want to ask you, what happens when a victim turns 18? What changes in their situation?
Sure. So first of all, good to be back on Facebook Live to all our friends and partners all over the country and across the world now, specifically United Kingdom, where we are building a lot of friendships. Well, that's a great question, Blair, because this is something that we have been seeing in the fight against human trafficking now for many years, that when that victims, that survivor turns 18 in many of the states, and as it was in Florida, they go from being a victim under the law to now a criminal. Let's say they get caught up in, they're in a sex ring or a situation. And so we know friends like Linda Smith with Shared Hope International have been going from state to state doing a report card on making sure those laws for the minors protect the minors. But what happens when they turn 18 is there's still a huge gap in advocacy and, to me, injustice, because that person, one day they're 17, the next day they're 18, they are still somebody who has been victimized by this horrific crime. And so what we've been advocating for, and we will continue to in the state of Florida, is that when they turn 18, they are also seen as someone who's victimized and not as a criminal. And so that's an issue that's ongoing. Many people feel for some reason that magical age that now they're willfully doing it. And so they don't understand the trauma bonds, they don't understand the Stockholm Syndrome, they don't understand that person has been under duress maybe for many years. A lot of times, as we know, and we've been really seeing, is that most of those have been victimized were also victimized with other abuses before they were even trafficked. And so now you have complex or double trauma. And so that's something we're addressing in this campaign. And so I'm excited that we're bringing a spotlight to it.
Yeah. I mean, one day they're 17 and a minor, and the next day they're 18 and an adult. And if they had been interacting with law enforcement as they were 17, maybe they're in sex trafficking.
Yes.
They would have been treated as a victim, but on their 18th birthday they can be arrested for prostitution.
Yes.
Whereas at 17 they cannot, because they're a minor and they cannot consent.
Yes. And even though the services, the Department of Children and Families here in Florida and other stakeholders have been very conscious of, as they age out, the services are provided a lot of times now into the early 20s, which is great, but that still doesn't negate that if they were then, it's their birthday and now they're arrested the day that they turn 18, they won't be eligible for many services. And so we want to advocate in the state of Florida, specifically where we're located, is that that also is something that we look at with legislation, and that these same individuals who are victimized are looked at as those who are not criminals. I don't believe we can really justify just because a change of age. So, yes.
Yeah. And so you hit on services,
Yes.
and so one of the things Florida Abolitionists does is serve these adult victims, because there are services available for minors, and they lose some of those services. So what are
Sure.
some of the services that you're seeing that once they turn 18 they need, that they might have had as a minor but now they don't have, and so we either facilitate or provide for them?
So many of you may not realize that not only are we serving those who are 18 and over, specifically with direct services, but we also, that includes those who are victims of sex and labor trafficking and/or domestic servitude. And it can be foreign-born, it can be domestic, it can be male, female. And so that's the population all these years we have been assisting, serving. Sometimes they get into our program and we offer that comprehensive case management. So those variety of services, as someone who's a first responder, and we have a hotline here in Central Florida that we've had for many years, that's now 24/7. We're also referred to a lot by the National Human Trafficking Hotline, that once they are identified and or recovered, we're able to, because of the collaboration of our stakeholders, many times if there's a sex trafficking victim, get them into detox through one of our partners here. And then the new HT Center for females that can be sex or labor can go to the 18 and over short-term residential facility that is facilitated by Aspire Health Partners, one of our main stakeholders here. And so those services, as they begin to receive healing and receive services, we're looking at really even expanding those first few months are very critical. You know, we know the first few hours are critical when they're recovered, but now we're even looking at, okay, what happens? You know, are they beginning to be equipped? You know, not just the basic needs are done, right? Mm-hmm. So now where do we go? Do they want to be employed? Do they want to go to school? Do they want to get their tattoo covered or removed? Those are some of the things, besides the therapeutic programming, which we know is essential for the trauma, that's also offered to them, and also legal services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there is a lot, and we've talked in some of these episodes some of the things that survivors need, and we'll continue to share more with you about that. But really, that 18th birthday is crucial. You know, many of us remember having a great birthday party and celebrating our 18th birthday, but for victims, it's really not something to celebrate. No. They really lose a lot of services and privileges that they could have had as a minor. And so we're trying to fill that gap. And it's great to see the services that we do have available to them now that we did not have years ago, you know, when you first started this.
Sure, and so we're celebrating 18 years. This October is the anniversary of the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, which is reauthorized every 2 or 3 years here in the States. And this is the 18th year that the laws existed, our federal law here in the United States. Yeah. And so with our campaign, Blair, if you'll tell them what this exciting campaign is.
Absolutely, yeah. So in honor of these victims, these survivors' 18th birthday, we're asking friends like you to give $18 a month and become an abolitionist partner. That $18 will provide the funds necessary for us to be there and to provide these services that they would not get anywhere else, and make sure that they can have a good birthday, that they can have a hope and healing and a better tomorrow. So you can give on our website. There's a give button at the top. There's also a button at the bottom. And just sign up to give $18 a month. It's, you know, the equivalent to maybe a pizza dinner with your family once a month, or about a cup of coffee once a week that you can sacrifice, that we sacrifice to give to this organization and to give to this cause. You can make the difference in the life of that 18-year-old. And so we ask you to please partner with us. And also, we do have one other announcement. We have an abolitionist training coming up. If you want to go even farther, you want to get more involved than with your finances, you can come to our abolitionist training next Saturday, October the 27th, from 10 to 4 at Calvary, Orlando. You can register on our website also. From 10 to 4, we're going to be doing an in-depth training about human trafficking. You've gotten little bits and pieces of what human trafficking is and some of the things that we do and ways to get involved in stopping it in these videos. But you'll sit down and learn from Tomas and just so much about the issue, about what it looks like, what's causing it, but also how to get involved in stopping it. And so we invite you to join us on October the 27th at our abolitionist training. And as I said, you can sign up for that on our website. You do need to register in advance so that we can make sure we have lunch for you as well. But please consider joining us for that, and please consider becoming an abolitionist partner by giving $18 a month or more. Maybe your pockets are deeper and you can do twice that or 4 times that. Maybe you can give $100 a month to really help make a difference in the life of a victim, a survivor of human trafficking.
Great. Well, yeah, until next week, we again thank you for your support, and we will continue with you to fight this monstrous crime about human trafficking right here in our own backyard. So see you next week.
Thanks again.